When people resort to self-defense, you know the danger. I don't think it needs to be elaborated any further. That is the fear. That the fear I expressed, and it is a real fear. It's a real danger because when you allow members of the public to possess firearms freely, even in countries where there are very strong institutions, it is a serious problem. The U.S. Practices this self-defense, something where citizens can just buy guns and keep in their houses. And despite the fact of their very strong institutions, everybody is seeing the danger they are living with. Talk less of in Nigeria, where these institutions are not as strong as they are in those kind of environments.
What is the way out now? Are you talking on the federal government?
I have already called on the federal government to do something about it, because the prompt response given to the Benue crisis, I think, is what generated all this. I congratulated, that is the first thing I did, I congratulated the people of Benue State, because when their citizens were killed, 73, they raised their voices, all of them in unison. They summoned, almost a summit where all the prominent sons and daughters of Benue State gathered in Benue, and they roundly condemned what happened and called on all the authorities, to do something. And promptly the federal government instructed or directed the IGP to relocate to Benue State. In Zamfara State, where I represent, I have said it times without number on the floor of the Senate, there are villages that suffered losses, multiples of what happened in Benue. In Ergala Dima, in Moru local government, in a day, within 2 hours, more than 200 people were killed. Within 1 hour, 152 corpses were piled, according to Islamic rites, and prayed upon and buried. The state governor was in attendance of that burial. It was televised. It's everywhere. The deputy governor was there, the commissioner of police, or anybody that matters in the state was there. But there was not 1/10, maybe, noise of it. And we say what is good for the goose should be good for the gander. Yes, if people are killed in Benue and their governments rise to the occasion, to call on the authorities, then in Zamfara State too, government is supposed to say, this is the problem, this is what we are facing. And this is how many years ago when this thing happened? About maybe three or 4 years maybe. After it, there was the killing, there was the Kizara killings. I brought a motion here, and the issue was investigated. About 50-something people were killed within 1 hour or so. Just after the morning prayers, these people waylaid them, and not waylaid, they attacked them, some before even leaving the mosque. And nothing. Then these things keep happening every day. Now, from these skirmishes and the killings, kidnapping has set in, where young girls are kidnapped and kept in the bush, raped, and everything. Then people are made to pay money. And where do these people have this money? They don't have. Like what I raised today, just on the 26th, today is 31st. So on the 26th of this month, about 5 people were kidnapped in Kungurumi village in Bungudu local government. One of them, a young lady that is just 1 week away from her wedding. And she is still with these people. Now, her parents are poor. These people are poor. The first two regained their freedom after paying the sum of 1.2 million naira. The other 3 island paid 2.5 million naira. How do they raise these monies? They sell their farmlands and everything. So you can see the multiplier effect, of these problems, because our people are maybe more than 90% peasant farmers. They go to the farm, to get their means of livelihood. Now they sell the farms to regain their freedom. Now, after regaining the freedom, what happened? Now you have young men, day in, day out, joining these groups every day for very obvious reasons. Some for material gain, some because they have lost everything, and there is just nobody to protect them. You can't report to anybody, you can't say anything, you can't do anything. And government is saying that nobody should talk. Now, it is my duty to talk, even if I'm going to lose my life. That is why I am voted in. And that is the price of leadership. The first duty of any government is protection of lives and property. And where there is no peace, then nothing happens. Now, when I said this thing on the floor, I said it on the floor of the Senate. As a serving senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I expected government to engage me. If I lied, then that amounts to perjury. And I'm ready to submit myself, for prosecution. I even said that if what I said is proved to be lies, I'm ready to resign. I will resign and I will submit myself, for prosecution without any plea. Because you cannot lie on the floor of the Senate. When you have people moving around in uniform and that are not security distance, then the danger is just better imagined. Then you assemble, instead of engaging or denying or saying something, you assemble some useless small miscreants and pimps, to attack somebody's personality on radio because you were in government. I was in opposition with the same government of the day, and we knew what we suffered when we were denied access to just the same radio and everything. And today, because you are in power, you feel you can do the same. And how many days do you have to leave? Now, when you leave, where are you going to? They have families in the same district. I have families. I can be in Abuja, but what happens to my wider family? I have a family that has history of over 300 years, in Gusau. My family is over 3,000 now. And you say you want to engage me in this thing. That is why I said, I don't know these bandits. I don't know one. The only thing I can say that is close to that is one of the kingpins was brought to Gusau on condition of amnesty. Yes, there was this time that the state government inaugurated a committee for amnesty, and they called one of the kingpins that is popularly known as Buhari Daji, and they agreed that they are going to stop these things. Even at that point, people were skeptical about the honesty of this group. Now, this man was brought into Gusau, was brought into government house and everything. They ate, they dined together, and the pictures were taken. That is the only person I have ever seen his picture on. Now, after that incident, the group splitted into two. Some truly repented. But the problem, Katsina also was suffering the same thing. Now, they had the same kind of arrangement, but we don't know their own type. Now, it is like all the people from Katsina or the ones operating in Katsina now repented. So now, Zamfara State and especially my constituency was split into two. Now, there's a boundary. Now, from this boundary, this side is the repentant group of that are looking for this one that didn't repent. They move around in our communities, in our villages, with their rifles, and in military uniform, and some in police uniform. Of course, they don't touch anybody. They don't do anything. Unless maybe you would never say that all of them are good ones. You can never, but majority of them are not. Now, the other group lives in the forest or whatever. Just last week, I was reliably informed that they had a very terrible clash for running. Some say it is still going on. According to reports, they said both sides recorded very serious casualties, but the repentant group recorded more casualties. According to groups, they said about 100 people killed. Now, the problem that disturbs me, not even the local media now can report these things because of fear of their own lives. Nobody can report this thing. It is not said over the radio. It is not on papers. No, the security agencies were not informed. Where are we heading to? Where are we going to? And because I said it on the floor, you now say you send a letter party that you are inviting me to come, and I hope the letter is here. Yes. See, now what has party got to do with issues raised on the floor of the Senate? That I am compelled to invite you to attend a stakeholder meeting to make following some issues bordering on the image and the security of our state. Image. Which image do you have when your citizens are being killed like rats? Where is the image? Where is the image? You state you were prominently featured in. What's the meaning of this? And they have this track record, or they have set a precedence. I've said it on the floor too. In 2012, a member of House of Representatives that we were serving together said something uncomplimentary about the government. The next thing is the party, under this leadership, invited him to Gusau for a meeting. The next thing, on arrival at the venue, he was attacked, his car was smashed, seriously, he escaped by the whiskers. Next, just late last year, the Speaker and the members of the State House of Assembly also summoned the governor carrying out their responsibilities. And they threatened that they will even impeach him. The next thing, the party wrote them letter. Come for a meeting. On arrival at the venue, they were attacked, their vehicles were smashed, some of them had their clothes torn, and all sorts of things. And that is what I said. Honestly speaking, I don't know one thief in Zamfara or one bandit. I don't know any. I have never seen one except that Buhari Ndaji that I saw his picture. I have discharged my own responsibility here. And if in the course of discharging it somebody is not happy, I expect him or her to engage me openly, come out with facts, say Marafa is telling lies, these are the facts, call people. Zamfara state is not populated by only 3 people. There are millions of people. Call people, interview them, and I think you press, you have responsibility, and the members of the international community should come and enter Zamfara and corroborate these things or deny them that so-so person is telling lies. But I don't know any. Now my life is being threatened. I don't care. They have been sending me messages, insults, all sorts of things. Who will deal with you. I am a son of the soil of that place. My great-grandfather founded Gusau. Nobody can stop me from going to Gusau. And I'm going to attend their meeting. I don't know who is going there, but I know the people that invited me. I know the state governor. I know the deputy governor. I know where he sleeps. I know where all of them sleeps. I know where their family sleeps. Just like they know where I sleep. They know my family. They know my brothers, my relations, and everybody. If anything happens to me, if I die, my children, I have already told them, take over the battle. And my relations, if I don't, I'm going to hold them responsible, and it's going to be eye for an eye.